You can feel it, can't you? That strange electricity in the air. The pull in your chest that won't let go, like someone, somewhere, is calling your name without words. You've tried to move on. You've tried to silence it. But the energy is getting stronger. The signs are everywhere. Dreams that feel too real, emotions that don't belong to you, songs that play at the perfect moment. This isn't coincidence. This is activation. Something is shifting in the collective field. A surge of divine energy is moving through twin flames across the planet, recalibrating timelines, aligning destinies, and awakening hearts that have been asleep in silence. If you've been feeling restless, emotional, or drawn to your counterpart lately, it's not your imagination. It's the universe preparing you for the next stage, the moment when separation stops being suffering and starts becoming synchronicity. Right now, behind the scenes, your connection is being rewritten. The masculine and feminine energies are trading places, learning balance, finding truth. You're not being ignored, you're being initiated. Every pause, every ache, every quiet night has been leading to this turning point. So stop scrolling. Stop doubting. Stop running. Because what's happening now isn't just change, it's alignment. And by the time this message ends, you'll understand why your silence, your pain, and your distance were never endings. They were the signs that reunion energy has already begun. Every connection in life teaches us something, but the twin flame connection is different. It doesn't just show us love, it shows us ourselves. Every emotion you feel in their presence, every trigger, every ache, every surge of joy, these are not random. They are divine feedback, messages from your soul reflected through the mirror of another. Your twin is not there to complete you but to reveal you, to reflect what still needs healing so that you can remember your own wholeness. When you look at your twin and feel pain, rejection, or longing, the universe is not punishing you, it's awakening you. What you see in them is what exists within you, either in light or in shadow. Their silence might be mirroring your own lack of self-expression. Their distance might be reflecting your fear of intimacy. The purpose of the mirror is not to blame but to awaken. Once you stop seeing them as the cause of your suffering and start viewing them as the mirror of your evolution, everything changes. Blame is the language of the ego. It points outward and keeps you trapped in separation. Reflection is the language of the soul. It points inward and leads to liberation. When you shift from blame to reflection, you take back your power. You begin to see that the pain they triggered was never theirs to heal. It was yours to integrate. And through that self-awareness, pain transforms into wisdom, resistance turns into surrender, and separation reveals itself as sacred design. Your twin flame is not your wound, they are your mirror. And every time you face that reflection with love instead of fear, you polish the mirror of your soul until it shines clear enough to recognize the truth. You were never broken, only becoming. True love is not gentle at first, it is transformative. When two souls unite on a divine path, love becomes a sacred fire that exposes everything hidden beneath the surface. It burns away illusion, defense, and denial. That's why meeting your twin flame often feels like both heaven and chaos. This connection brings your deepest wounds to light, not to punish you, but to purify you. What you once buried, fear, abandonment, guilt, and self-doubt, rises to be seen, loved, and released. Love reveals what still needs healing, because only what is acknowledged can be transformed. Through this union, ancestral and karmic patterns surface for resolution. The pain that doesn't seem to belong entirely to you, old family trauma, recurring cycles of rejection, patterns of silence or control, these are inherited imprints being brought forward for healing. The twin flame bond acts as a spiritual catalyst, awakening generations of unresolved energy. You are not only healing your story, but also rewriting your lineage's energetic blueprint. In that way, every tear shed is sacred service to both past and future. Triggers are not setbacks, they are divine teachers. When your counterpart stirs discomfort within you, it's an invitation to look deeper. The reaction is not against them, but against the part of you that still believes it is separate from love. Triggers exist to awaken awareness, to move you from unconscious reaction to conscious evolution. Each confrontation, each emotional storm, is a doorway. If you walk through it with presence, you emerge freer, clearer, and more aligned with truth. This is the essence of shadow work, learning to meet darkness with light, and fear with understanding. Because union is not built in comfort, it's forged in consciousness. And when you embrace your shadows, love finally becomes what it was always meant to be, transformational truth. In the spiritual journey of twin flames, time is not measured by clocks or calendars, it's measured by vibration. Divine timing is the universe's orchestration of alignment, ensuring that what is destined unfolds only when both souls are truly ready to sustain it. Union cannot be rushed because love, in its highest form, is not about desire, it's about divine readiness. The soul knows when harmony can exist, the ego merely wants it now. Every delay, every silence, every pause is the universe's way of saying, not yet, something is still becoming. This sacred timing asks for energetic maturity. Reunion is not simply two people coming together, it is two energies merging in perfect balance. The feminine must anchor peace and surrender, the masculine must awaken to emotional truth and vulnerability. If one is still rooted in fear, attachment, or illusion, union would only mirror imbalance. Divine timing ensures both souls rise into the same frequency of unconditional love before reunion occurs. It protects what is sacred from collapsing under the weight of unhealed energy. The delays are not denials, they are choreography. The universe arranges lessons, encounters, and events like pieces of a cosmic dance. Each apparent setback redirects you toward growth, each pause perfects your alignment. When you look back, you'll see that every waiting season was filled with divine precision. Patience, then, becomes your proof of readiness. To wait without anxiety is to trust divine intelligence. To rest in stillness is to show faith in what your soul already knows. The universe does not respond to pressure, it responds to peace. When your energy says, I am ready without rushing, doors open effortlessly. Because divine timing doesn't delay love, it perfects it. And when everything aligns, reunion will arrive exactly on time. Before divine love can enter fully, everything built on illusion must fall apart. The journey toward union begins with the collapse of the old self, the dismantling of every identity shaped by fear, control, and survival. These are the versions of you that learn to chase love, to earn worth, to hide pain. The universe cannot build higher love on shaky foundations, so it lovingly strips away all that is false. It removes the masks, the attachments, and the patterns that kept you bound to limitation. What feels like loss is really liberation, your soul clearing space for truth. This collapse is what many call ego death, the breaking of everything you thought you were. It's not a punishment, but a purification. The ego seeks to control, the soul seeks to flow. When the old self begins to dissolve, it can feel disorienting. Relationships shift, ambitions fade, and familiar structures crumble. Yet this is divine design. The fire of transformation burns only what is not eternal. In that surrender, what's real finally emerges. The universe takes away before it gives, not out of cruelty, but compassion. It knows that if you entered union still clinging to the old, the love meant to free you would instead bind you. So it empties your hands before it fills your heart. Every ending, every silence, every unraveling is sacred preparation for wholeness. And then comes the rebirth, a quiet, luminous emergence of your true essence. You begin to love without needing, to trust without proof, to live without fear. The old self dies so the divine self can rise. What remains is not a version of who you were, but who you were always meant to be, a soul reborn in love, fearless, open, and free. Twin flames are not just two people meeting in the physical, they are portals between human and divine consciousness. Through their connection, the universe experiences itself in form. Each interaction, each silence, each reunion becomes a bridge linking the visible and the unseen. This love doesn't follow ordinary logic because it was never meant to. It exists to remind both souls that they are far more than bodies. They are consciousness, reflecting divinity through human experience. When two souls recognize each other at that depth, love transforms into multidimensional awareness. It is no longer just emotion, it becomes energy, vibration, and remembrance. You begin to sense your counterpart in dreams, in synchronicities, in sudden waves of emotion that have no physical source. This is love expanding beyond the limits of language, teaching you to feel through spirit instead of form. The connection becomes a living frequency that moves through every layer of existence: mental, emotional, energetic, and divine. As your consciousness expands, the boundaries between realms blur. The physical, emotional, and spiritual dimensions begin to merge. What once felt separate now feels simultaneous. You realize that every thought, every vibration, every act of love ripples through unseen worlds. The relationship stops being about proximity and becomes about presence, a sacred attunement that exists no matter the distance. In this awareness, you understand that your bond was never confined to time or body. You have loved each other through lifetimes, through galaxies, through infinite dimensions of remembering. The purpose of this connection is not just romance, it's ascension. Your love becomes the bridge that unites heaven and earth, self and soul, human and divine. And once you walk across that bridge in consciousness, you finally see, separation never existed. It was only the illusion between worlds dissolving into oneness. The greatest truth in the twin flame journey is that union is not found, it's remembered. And it can only be remembered through wholeness. Many enter this path believing their twin is the missing half of their soul, the key to completion. But divine love was never designed to fill a void. It was meant to awaken the truth that there was never one. Wholeness is the true magnet for union, because only when both souls stand in their fullness can love reflect harmony instead of dependency. The idea of the missing half is an illusion born from human longing. The universe doesn't unite fragments, it aligns frequencies. The twin flame connection serves as a sacred mirror, showing you what still separates you from your own light. Each wave of longing, every ache of absence, is really your soul asking you to return home, to your heart, your peace, your purpose. The more you integrate your shadows and accept your divinity, the more your energy vibrates in completeness. This is the shift from codependency to divine interdependence. In codependency, love says, "I need you to feel whole." In divine alignment, love whispers, "I am whole, and through me, love flows freely." You no longer seek validation through another, you radiate it from within. The relationship stops being about possession and becomes about expansion. Two lights sharing one flame without extinguishing their own. When your energy reaches this frequency, you stop chasing and start attracting. You become magnetic not because you're waiting, but because you're aligned. The universe mirrors wholeness with wholeness. The twin flame is drawn back not by need, but by resonance. In that vibration, love no longer arrives to complete you, it arrives to celebrate you. Because wholeness isn't the end of the journey, it's the vibration that finally opens the door to union. Every separation, no matter how painful, is part of a greater design, a cosmic reset orchestrated by the universe to bring both souls back into alignment with truth. When the twin flame journey enters a period of silence or distance, it's not chaos, it's calibration. The separation acts as a sacred pause, allowing both soul blueprints to be rewritten. Old energies, karmic attachments, and emotional residues that can exist in higher frequencies are cleared out. This process feels like everything is falling apart, but in reality, it's the soul dismantling what was never stable enough to hold divine love. Before reunion can occur, there must be an energetic clearing. This is the universe's way of cleansing the emotional clutter accumulated through fear, control, or expectation. You might notice sudden detachment, intense purging, or rapid shifts in your inner world. These are signs that your energy is being purified. The connection is being stripped down to its essence so that only unconditional love remains. The more resistance you release, the smoother this recalibration becomes. That's why sudden endings, ghosting, or emotional withdrawal often happen right before breakthroughs. These are not rejections, they are divine interventions. The universe removes what must end before it can allow what's meant to begin. The connection enters a void, not to destroy it, but to renew it. The silence becomes sacred space where both souls evolve independently until they vibrate in harmony again. What looks like destruction is really preparation for creation. Just as a forest burns before it regrows, the soul must release the old before embodying the new. The cosmic reset is love's reset button, a divine reboot that ensures the next chapter begins in purity, not in pain. When the dust settles, you'll realize nothing was lost, only rewritten in divine order. The twin flame journey is not only a path of love, it is a path of alignment, where the mind and the heart must learn to move as one. In the beginning, the connection often activates intense mental energy. The mind obsesses, overthinks, analyzes every silence, every sign, every dream. It tries to understand what the soul already knows. But love, especially divine love, cannot be solved, it can only be felt. The shift from mental obsession to heart coherence is the moment when the journey begins to transform from confusion into peace. The mind's nature is to control, the heart's nature is to trust. The purpose of this path is not to silence logic, but to balance it with intuition. Logic helps you stay grounded in reality, while intuition opens you to the unseen truth. When the two unite, you no longer chase answers, you allow them to arrive through awareness. You begin to feel guidance instead of forcing outcomes. This is the essence of divine intelligence, the wisdom that speaks in stillness, not in noise. To reach this state, the mind must learn to quiet itself. Meditation, reflection, or simple breath can bring you back to the present moment where your soul's direction becomes clear. The questions that once created anxiety start to dissolve, replaced by inner knowing. You no longer seek signs outside yourself. You become the sign. The peace that follows comes from surrendering analysis. You realize that the mind was never meant to lead this journey, it was meant to serve it. When the heart and mind reconcile, a higher harmony emerges. Thought becomes a tool, not a prison. And in that stillness, love reveals itself effortlessly, not as something to understand, but as something to become. True twin flame reunion begins long before two souls meet again in the physical. It begins within. The greatest secret of this journey is that union with your counterpart can only happen after the inner masculine and feminine energies merge inside you. These are not genders but forces, action and stillness, logic and intuition, giving and receiving. When one dominates, imbalance creates chaos. But when both energies learn to coexist in harmony, you no longer seek completion outside yourself, you become it. The inner masculine represents direction, purpose, and strength. The feminine embodies intuition, flow, and trust. Many chase their twin while these aspects within remain divided, the mind pushing forward while the heart resists, or the spirit surrendering while fear still controls. The journey calls you to bring these opposites into balance. To let your inner masculine protect your peace, and your inner feminine open to divine guidance. Only then can the energy between you and your twin flow freely without distortion. This inner union is the foundation of outer alignment. When you feel whole inside, the external connection naturally begins to mirror that wholeness. You stop chasing and start attracting. The energy becomes effortless, magnetic, and grounded in peace rather than longing. Reunion in the physical is not something you achieve, it's something you allow, once your vibration matches harmony itself. In truth, your twin flame is the external reflection of your own evolution. The love you feel for them is the love your soul is remembering for itself. When you finally embody balance, masculine and feminine, heart and mind, trust and action, the universe has no choice but to reflect that alignment back to you. That reflection is your twin, returning not to complete you, but to witness what you have always been, whole, radiant, and divine. Twin flame love is not bound by time, space, or circumstance. It is an eternal flame, burning across lifetimes and dimensions. Before your souls ever met in the physical, they recognized each other in the realms of spirit. You and your twin agreed, long before birth, to meet again on earth, not simply to love, but to awaken. The connection you feel now is the echo of that sacred promise, a vibration so ancient that no distance, silence, or lifetime could ever extinguish it. This love transcends human understanding because it was never meant to fit within it. In each incarnation you play different roles, sometimes lovers, sometimes teachers, sometimes catalysts for each other's growth. Yet the essence remains the same, a soul-level remembrance of unity. You are two sparks of one divine flame, exploring separation only to rediscover the power of reunion. Even when one soul forgets, the other remembers, and that remembrance keeps the connection alive through dreams, intuition, and synchronicities. The sacred promise between twin flames is not about perpetual togetherness, it's about perpetual evolution. Every challenge, every lifetime apart, every moment of recognition serves the expansion of divine love through both souls. The form of the connection may change, but the essence never fades. Love doesn't die when bodies part, it simply shifts dimensions, continuing its journey in higher realms of consciousness. This is why true twin flame love never ends, it only evolves. Each separation is a chapter, not a conclusion. Each lifetime is another opportunity to deepen the soul's remembrance of oneness. When you feel the pull toward your twin, you are not yearning for a person, you are remembering eternity itself. The flame between you was lit by the Creator, and what was born of light can never be extinguished. Take a deep breath, feel that energy in your heart right now. That's not coincidence, that's confirmation. The universe is aligning you, even when you can't see it. The silence, the distance, the waiting, none of it has been wasted. You are being prepared for something powerful, something divine. Remember, reunion doesn't start when they return, it starts when you remember who you are. If this message resonated with you, if you felt every word in your soul, then this transmission was meant for you. Drop a comment below and tell me, I am ready for divine alignment. Type it, claim it, and let the universe see your readiness. Don't forget to hit subscribe, tap that notification bell, and stay connected, because I have more powerful messages coming that will help you navigate this sacred journey with strength, clarity, and truth. You are not alone in this. You are part of a wave of awakening souls rewriting love on a higher frequency. This is your sign. This is your time. Until next time, stay in your light, stay in your truth, and remember, separation was never the end. It was the beginning of your awakening.